What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. Got a video for you guys today. This is for the obvious dive from in the matchup between Danny Green and Paul Briggs. Now the matchup barely lasted like 20-30 seconds, not if that long. Danny Green throws like a left jab, and Paul Briggs takes an obvious dive, and that. And I'll tell you this much: this fight had so many mishaps that it wasn't funny, because for some reason at cruiserweight there was a catch weight. When you're a cruiserweight, you're supposed to be fighting at 200, not 180. So there was a catch weight, and then Green said he was going to punish. He said he was going to punish Briggs and stuff because he came in over the weight. And me personally, I do applaud Paul Briggs for at least coming in overweight. Cruiserweight's at about 200 pounds, 201 pounds. Came in like 192. Catch weight was 185. He came in 192. Fought. And actually didn't really fight. Just went in to get a paycheck. And this is what the sport does not need, is fighters coming in and taking obvious dives like that. If you're going to sign a contract to fight somebody, and pretty much if you're going to sign a contract to fight at 185 pounds, you come in at 192, then that shows your lack of discipline, lack of dedication to the sport. Now, Paul Briggs hadn't fought in a while. I think like 2.5, 3.5 years he hadn't fought. So I guess I can kind of understand possibly not making weight, but at the same time, not making weight is lack of professionalism. But at the same time, I understand, because cruiserweight, there's really, the weight limit is 200. He came in pretty much at the cruiserweight limit. This is for a cruiserweight championship, so this should be a cruiserweight fight, not a catchweight fight. I understand to that degree, but the thing that really pissed me off about this fight is him taking that obvious dive. And this is the last thing that the sport needs. And there's so many people out there talking about the sport's dying and the sport is doing so bad. But it's because of stuff like this. Because a fighter comes in and wants to collect a paycheck and doesn't necessarily want to fight. They want to go in, they want to get paid for stepping in the ring against opponents that could possibly bring them a good amount of money. And a fighter like a Danny Green, who has a pretty good following out in Australia, and he's a fighter who's actually trying to get himself a big fight with one of the guys like Hopkins, or any of the other big cruiserweight stars. He's trying to get himself a big fight, but this is pretty much a possible setback because Paul Briggs wanted to take an obvious dive. And like I said, this is the last thing the sport needed. And as Lou DiBella said, people in the sport have done it to themselves. This is the reason that part of boxing is disintegrating, and this is why the fan base is going down. Because we're watching fights with fighters who don't want to fight, and fighters who are just in it for the money. And it was obvious Paul Briggs was in it for the money. Should he get paid for this fight? Hell no. He should not get paid for this fight. Maybe just cover his airfare, and that's pretty much it. It's the only thing that should be covered for him. But other than that, Paul Briggs, I hope to never see him in the ring ever again. The fight with Adamek was pretty cool. Like the fight with Adamek, but he hadn't really fought anybody else. And Danny Green was pretty much, you were just a stay busy fight for him. But at the same time, you're just a bitch. Plain as simple as that. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. That was Distance. Peace.